or what I take from that is some days it's like that, and I'm just gonna take a night to just cry and let
joy
it. But joy does come in the morning, and so far Joy's still been showing up in the morning time. It shows like I get here and I said, okay, we're back again.
Hey girl.
Hey girl.
Past, present, and future you with actress Danielle Truitt as she dives into the beautiful complexities of life's journey through real, transparent conversation. All the women I've been made me into who I've become.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of All the Women I've Been. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I literally have the dopest friends, like I do. And the more that you watch my podcast, the more of them you'll get to meet. So my friend today, her name is Joy, and she is an actress, model, and a kids play specialist. I don't know if y'all know what that is. But basically, she's like the kid whisperer, okay? She knows what to do with our kids when we don't. She's also the host of Our Friend Joy podcast. We're going to have an awesome conversation about Black Girl Magic, confidence, joy, and what it means to just know who you are and revel and bask in the awesome person that you are. So let's welcome Joy.
Joy!
Daddy! I love you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to see you. You know, I always love seeing you anyway. And I'm just happy that you joined me for the podcast. We met, 2006?
We met 2000, the
End of
summer and the fall, going summer fall.
Yes.
Of 2007. I will never ever forget that. I was going through I had just lost a really close friend of mine.
Yes,
you remember at the top of, during that summer, and then I moved in transition of moving to LA, and I was experiencing all these crazy transitions and transformations, which, as I sit with you today, I'm in the middle of another one, so it's almost of just timing.
Yeah.
But I remember I came to LA and I would just come off the show and I was like, what am I doing? And I was staying with the managers of the show that I was on, and I just had to tell them, I was like, I got to go find some Black people. I got to go, I got to do something. I love you guys and this is great, but where my people at?
Right.
And I just started literally asking, and I was like, okay, I know something's gonna come. And what's crazy is the director of that show, Lateris.
Yeah, shout out to Lateris.
Hi, Lateris.
Dear Wifey podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. I met him when I was 13 years old. And I met him with my mom, because my mom and I used to go to gospel plays. That was our thing in South Carolina. And I would always tell her, you know what, we're going to go to the show. And I said, you know what, my mom meets somebody afterwards. And they going to get my number, or they going to tell me, what I need to do. And after one show, and I can't remember exactly the show that he did, but I did. I met him, and we exchanged information. And one thing that I am very proud of that I still stick to this day, if you give me your info, I'm going to keep in touch with you. I believe in the connection, especially if I feel it. I've always, intuitive with it. And that's what happened. So over the years, I was I would just update him on okay, I done did this, I done went to do this. And he was kept me going. And then when I moved to LA, something just had this inch and was call him. And I was I reached out and was hey, I'm actually in LA now. I did it.
Right.
I am here. I've just come off of this. And I guess it says timing. You never know. And when he said, I have something for you. I can only offer you this. And I said, well, that's more than what I'm getting now. And you mean I get to travel and I get to meet all these people? My bags are packed. Let's go.
Okay.
And so I did. And my first day is when I met you. And on there, and it was with Tisha Campbell Martin and Shantae Moore. And Guy Torrey.
It was Dave Hollister.
It was
what was the name of the play, child? I can't remember.
By any means necessary.
Okay. I was trying to think of it. I was literally trying to think of it the other day, and I was like, what
Yes,
I'm gonna ask Joy. And of course, as soon as I ask you, I
by any means necessary.
Yes.
You guys were like all trying to get married by the age of 30.
Right.
By any means necessary, and boy, that was funny.
That was funny.
That
was
was
a
fun.
fun time. We were so young. I think I was like 26. I think. Were you 21?
21. I turned 22 while we were on the road. We
Yeah.
celebrated together. You guys had
Yes.
a party for me in Philly, and
We
I was
did.
like, oh my God, this is the best birthday ever. Like, yeah, it was amazing.
It was a cool time.
It was a
really
cool time, and I mean, look at us now. I made a lasting connection
I
and
know.
sister friend,
Yes.
and that's what you are. And now you have me here, and to be able to share the journey.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
I am very proud of you. I mean, being in LA, especially since both of us kind of moved here around the same time, like
Yeah.
it's not an easy city. And I know people always say like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, which is true because New York ain't no joke, is a beast in itself. But LA is like a different kind of hard city, and I think it's especially hard for us, like for brown girls. It's especially hard for our self-esteem and things like that. So all of us who are like thriving and like, you know, have kind of kept trucking and got those opportunities and made the most of them. I'm so proud of you and of all of us, really.
yeah, it is. I just was speaking to one of the guys that work with you that I just adore him already, and we were speaking about the different cities, and I said to him, I am so happy that I experienced New York before here, because it gave me, there's a different energy that moves in that city already.
Yes.
And
you were confident.
Yes. And you know, in New York I was more doing, I'm still in fashion, still love fashion, all those things, but I was modeling more and doing commercial and all these things. And so I was the art, you know what I mean? And so when you walk, you're walking like you were just a piece of art that just stepped out. There's energy, there is all those things. And so there's connection, and there was a hustle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I had no choice. I wanted to get it done.
Yeah.
And then, you know, opportunities allowed me to come here, and I was like, oh.
It's different.
Okay, this is real different. First of all, you in your car a whole lot.
Okay.
I mean,
you're not making connections as much, and when people say they want to make connections, half the time
they don't really
want to.
Yeah, you got to be intentional about where you're going, who you're seeing, and then you're like, yes, it's a lot more effort.
It's a lot more effort. It's a lot more effort. Mine was obviously the opposite. I came to LA first.
Yeah.
And now, you know, for the last few years I've been in New York, but it's true. Like the confidence that it's like this independence and this like, the world is my oyster. Like I can make things happen.
I can make things happen.
And you have always had that spirit to me. Like even when we met doing By Any Means Necessary, we were like our stage manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were just like immediately just an electrifying like personality and like somebody that I was drawn to.
Yes.
I thought all of us were.
Yeah.
Like, we just loved you. And that makes sense. Like if you had already come from New York, like that confidence was starting to build, and you were only 21 at that time.
Yeah.
You know, so to see you now, even from then, I'm just like,
grew up a little bit.
right. I'm just so proud of you. I'm just so
Oh,
proud of you.
I need to hear that, because sometimes on this journey, it's. I mean, I love that you have this, because you know, like you said, this is a hard place for women that look like us, brown women. But when you know, meet a special one, it's very rare, and you're like, oh, like I needed this affirmation. I needed to be affirmed, and thank you for seeing me. I see you, and I'm just grateful. And in the midst of it, I don't know sometimes, but I'd be like, everything is always working out for my good. I've like,
all the time.
you know, just tried to have kept that. And even like I told you at the time that we met, I was in a very heavy place, but one thing that has always kept me, and it continues to keep me, is my faith.
Yeah.
You know, my faith and my tribe and my mama.
Yes, mama, for sure. For sure.
Mama
It was
Joy.
a very special relationship with your mom.
I have a very special relationship with my mom. It's cool because as I've gotten older now, like she really is my friend, you know, like I'm like, you know, you're my friend. Now I can talk to you about something.
And then you grow up and like, I ain't one of your little friends, and then they become your friend.
They do that. Like, I ain't one of your little friends. Don't you talk to me like that. And now she's like, well, come on, friend, let's sit down. What's happening, Joy? And I appreciate it. But I also love, because a lot of the things that she would say to me growing up, they just all make sense now. You know, like the little isms, the little sayings, like, until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, nothing ain't gonna change. And I said, you know what? I'm tired.
That's the truth.
It really
like
is.
That is the truth. And
yes.
I've said this to myself,
yes.
and I've said it when looking at, you know, people I love or people who come to me for advice, whatever it might be, and I'm like, oh, they're not tired yet. Like, once you really get sick of your own shit, once you get sick of your own making excuses, whatever it might be,
and not putting it on anyone else.
No, taking complete ownership. Like, hey, what part am I playing in how my life is turning out?
Yes.
Because it can't always be somebody else's fault.
And we really are the directors of our own movie, you know, and so often we you know, it feels good to put it on somewhere else. It feels good to take it off ourselves and be like, oh, you know, they did that to me.
Right.
But it's like, but you're just like, no, actually,
I'm an active participant in my own life.
In my own life. Yeah. And for whatever, I attracted that to me. I move off of, you know, I do move off of law of attraction and manifestation and being, you know, like my name is Joy, and I know that comes with such bigness, you know what I mean? And so when I meet people all the time, they're like, yes, you are Joy.
Yes.
And I appreciate that now, because I know the work that I've done to own my joy.
And I want to talk to you about it.
Yes.
You have a hashtag that says joy is everywhere.
Yes.
So, like, how did that become, like, your mantra? And what are the things that you... Because I truly do believe there's a difference between joy and happiness, you know? And my mom always says, you know, happiness, it comes from happenings.
Ooh.
You know?
I like that. Happiness comes from happenings.
Okay.
Yes.
But joy is just something,
Tell me what joy means.
whether the world is crumbling around you, it's something that is like inside of you.
Yes.
It's not something that you feel based on your circumstance.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, whenever my mom would tell me that, I'm like, wow. So joy is something that you have to cultivate.
Yep.
You know, within yourself. And I do believe the more trials you go through, the more things you've been through that you overcome, that's what gives you that joy, you know? And it's not like, doing this all the time, but it's just like an inner peace. So anyway, tell us.
It's an inner peace. Joy is everywhere came from, I was, I had a friend would see me around all the time. Like, her manager would just see me around all the time. And, you know, I mean, you've been around me. You know, I'd just be Joy. Hey, girl, you know, boop, boop, boop. And he would see me different places, wherever they go. Like, I would be there or whatever. And one day he just said to me, he was like, you know what? He said, you know what you should call it? I know what you are. Joy is everywhere. And I was like, oh, I like it. I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but now that's a gem that I'm going to put in my pocket. And I'm going to hold on to it.
Right.
And then I just begin to wear it. Yeah. I begin to own it, like, in a sense of, like, joy is everywhere. Yeah. And it's not just my name, it is an emotion, and wherever I go, I try to find the joy in there, the joy in that place. But I also know that I'm bringing the joy.
Right.
So it is this. It's like a double thing that works together.
Yeah.
And when I went through, I learned, like, some years ago that, like, I went through some health issues. Yeah. And when I went through those health issues, I realized that I had been holding on to everything that, like, just things that weren't mine.
Yeah. The body keeps
Yes. As they said, the body pain, like, pain body.
Yeah.
I was that. I started to have, I was young, and I was like, they wanted to have major back surgery on me. I, like, caught frozen shoulder. I couldn't lift this arm. I couldn't twist and I learned the power of just being appreciative to be able to twist the top off. But
Ooh.
I kept it and was like, I'm good and all these things. And I just got tired of pretending. Got tired of it. I call them the 3 Ps, which are people pleasing, perfection, and what's my last one?
Pretending.
Yes, and pretending. And I just was like, let me do the work. And once I started doing the work, like internally, and then like really owning and figuring out what works for me and my joy, that gym that was in my pocket, I pulled it on out and I said, you know what, now I can really rock with this.
Right.
Because from there, we had a pandemic.
Right.
And then,
so you got a chance to sit down.
Yeah.
With yourself
I had to, everybody was sitting down. I call it the great the great restarter. It was like the great reset button because COVID didn't care who you was, how much money you had, or anything. It said, sit down. And we all had to sit down. And we all had to sit down. And so it was there that I was like, okay, this joy is everywhere. What does it mean? And what is it, what am I supposed to do with it? And I was like, oh, I got it. And I was like, oh, I'm on a mission now to help others to do this.
I was going to say, who can
And
I share it with?
Who can I share it with? And I wanted to share it with people with something that I had always been running from, truly, because I thought it was just a side hustle. And I work with kids.
Yes.
But I thought working with kids, because, I wanted to be an actor, and I'm an actor. And
You are
all these things, and we're waiting, and, and I was like, no, I don't have time to work with kids, and all of that. But yet, it was the kids who would put me in the places and in the environments that I was wanting to be in from before.
Yes.
So it was like what am I doing?
You're holding yourself back from getting to where you want to be.
Like self-sabotage, right?
Because you're too focused on what something looks like.
Yep.
And I think when you're a transplant from another state, city, or whatever, and you come to LA, there's like this pressure that you put on yourself that like, I have to make it. I have to do exactly what I said I was set out to do because everybody at home is watching me, and then whenever I go home, they're like, "What are you working on next?" Which I hate that question.
Oh, I hate
Do
it.
not ask me.
Yes.
What I'm working on next. I actually still hate that question.
No, I still do.
I don't, and I am on a TV show right now.
Yeah.
But when I see somebody that I haven't seen in a long time, and one of the first questions you ask me is what I'm working on right now, it is annoying. I don't like it. It's like. Like, connect with me for real. Because it shouldn't be based on what I'm doing right now in my career.
Absolutely.
And if you're not doing anything, well, when you feel like you're not doing anything, because, I feel like in our career, you're always doing something.
Yes.
For example, working with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, what we think is, oh, this is completely off base from what I'm trying to do. Not when you were creative, not when you were an artist. Every single thing you do aids in what you really want to be doing. So I didn't
even, and I love that you put it there, because, like in that way, because I didn't realize that yet. I was just like, just doing it and showing up.
Yeah.
And then when I decided I was like, you know what, I want to start a nonprofit. Because I was working with kids and I was working with high-end clientele. Like I worked with celebrity kids and was meeting everyone and all these things. And I was like, but now I want my joy to the kid, the lower income and the inner city and everyone who, they need joy too. Everybody needs a piece of it. Now how do I get over there?
Can't afford it.
Yeah. Right. And so I was like, well, we're going to get this to work out because, the high clientele, they like me a little bit and maybe they'll help me to get back over here.
Right.
And I said, let me just try it. And Danielle, I've heard stories of people starting nonprofits, how it's very challenging and it takes this and da-da-da-da. It was one of the quickest, most ease thing that I've ever done. And it was like, one day I looked in the mirror and it was like, God said, I told you.
Thank you for
Now
trusting me.
Yes, for real. And watch what I do with this. And so it's been, Joy is Everywhere has been, now we're in our 4th year, and what's crazy is I had this wonderful presentation that I had to present this week.
Ooh, okay.
To this opportunity, and it's one of those opportunities that I'm like, you know, if this comes through, oh, it makes it, you know, all good. It's a wonderful, and my fingers are crossed and all that.
Praying, yeah.
But what I loved about it was I had to sit down and I had to really write out and organize all that Joy's Everywhere has done.
Okay.
And
yeah.
and that meant I had to reach out. So I had to get testimonies. And I had to, check in with my board and say what this impact and how we did over here and blah, blah, blah. And then we put it all together. And when I was going through the file and, and seeing the partnerships that I've been able to cultivate, the children that we've been able to, reading the testimonies, I just had to sit and just say, you know what, God, I'm thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It humbles you.
It really did.
Because you realize it really was bigger than you, and
it was so bigger than me.
Couldn't have, I love when God does. I know in my life, God has definitely done things in a way where I can't help but give Him the credit and the glory for it, because it's like the way that happened wasn't nobody but Him.
Oh, those are my favorite ones. Yes, when it happened, I'd be like, "Oh, you ain't know," but this is so good. It's so good. It's just so good, and it's inexplainable. Like, you can't explain it.
Yeah.
But it's on time.
Yeah.
And on purpose.
Right.
And so I truly believe that I'm now walking in my divine purpose, and everything that comes after. And it has helped me so much even in my acting career, because I don't move with this slight desperation.
I was going to say, desperation.
Or this thing of like, pick me. Can you pick me?
Yeah. It's
just an ease now. You do it. Honey, this is what I can give you. You either like it or
right.
you don't. But what I got to do is go over here and save these children.
Like Jennifer Lewis. I watched this video of Jennifer Lewis when she auditioned for, I think she auditioned for Boys in the Hood or something.
Yes.
And she was auditioning for John Singleton or whatever, and so she does her part, and then at the end she's like, "Give me the fucking job, little boy." Now, little boy, give me the fucking job.
Okay. Because I done did it.
So funny.
It's
oh God, I love her.
She's one of my.
I love her.
She's like one of my. I have a. Do you ever do this where you just sometimes I have a dinner table, right? Mm-hmm. And at your dinner table, you're only allowed to have
who can sit at?
Who can sit at your dinner table?
Right, who would sit at your dinner table?
Jennifer would be able to sit at my dinner table.
Yes. Wait, how many spots? Would you
ooh, okay.
6? Would you?
Okay, let's do a 6.
Okay,
do a 6.
What's your 6? I'll tell you my 6.
Oh my God, this is. Are we doing their live now?
They could be alive or dead.
Okay, live or dead, but
Whitney. She had my table too.
Yes, Whitney, you gonna be at the table, girl.
That's my girl right there.
Oh my gosh,
okay?
yes. Whitney's at my table. I do want Jennifer Lewis at my table. I've met her. There's, there's 2 white women that need to be at my table.
Okay,
and that is Kate Blanchett. And I had the privilege of meeting her.
I love me some Kate Blanchett.
And
she inspired me, my woman Michelle.
Yes.
She's insane. She's incredible.
She's incredible. And when I met her, our energies, you just never know how you're gonna be when you. And I was like, ooh, she saw me. And I said, yes, it was one of those things. I was like, ooh, she saw me. And I used to work at Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And so. All the people come through. The people come through. And I remember going to the head talent lady, and I was like, okay, now I know everybody come. And I was like, but there was one person, do you think I could just say hello?
Right.
And they said, well, who is it, Joy? And I said, Kate Blanchett, and I know she's coming because she is gonna win an Oscar for that movie Tar. Yes. So she's gonna have to come here. Everybody come here. So when she comes, just have me come in here.
Right.
And they were like, okay, Joy, okay. And she did. And they called, and I got to go, and it was time, and it was like,
I love it.
Going to walk in the room. And I walked down the hallway, her publicist came in, he says, she's ready for you. And I said, okay. I had a moment, and then I walked in, and she says, hello, and it was, I said, yes, hello. It was like the moment of where you're like, yes, I knew this would be, but thank you for this. And I was like, I love your work and your artistry. She goes, isn't that what artists do, what we do? I said, yes. Okay. I was like, we got it. And she said, I was like, do you mind if we have a photo? And she was like, yeah, we're going to get our sister. My sister is really good at this. And so the way she turned us, there was a light that hit us both on our top of our heads.
Oh, I love it.
And we both caught it and saw it. And we looked at each other and we said, now that was good. Because there was no way you could miss that. And I'm like, I will forever cherish that moment. And when I walked out, I was like, done. So Kate, the other one is Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah,
yes,
love her.
Yeah,
She's
like
amazing.
love her.
Yeah, she's
I want for another laugh, like young, I want Kiki.
Oh, I love Kiki.
I would love
that.
to have her there. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
keep a young person and
Right.
just I love. Yeah, she's just
Kiki is dope.
yeah, she's everything. Wait, how many is that? Do I have
Oh
one?
wait, so Whitney, Kate Blanchett,
Charlize, Kiki.
Kiki.
One more.
Two more.
Oh, two more. Oh my God, this is like actually hard. I like know the top. You know, let's have we can have Michelle Obama there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have Michelle Obama there. And it's a toss up. I want another Tina Turner.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, give another one. Tina Turner.
I love
Yes.
that. Okay. So the
who's
people
at
at
your
my
table?
table.
Yes, tell me.
Whitney Houston.
Yes!
That's my girl.
Okay.
I got like literally Whitney Houston and my mom. I always credit Whitney Houston and my mom to developing my gift to sing.
Yes.
Because when I was like 8, I was like in my bedroom, standing this close to the wall. I was actually singing Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Treated me kind, like just nasally nose. My mom was like, do you want to learn how to sing? Like, and I was
Like, for real?
I do, right? So she started teaching me, but I listened to Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
like that album where she had the fade.
Oh yes.
That's
Baby,
my album, okay?
I'm simply trying to create it. You can go on there. Where you are.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I would just hours in my room by myself, just mimicking her, and like that's how my gift developed.
Yes.
So and then not only that, but I watched her, like, and listen, I loved her more after I found out how flawed she was as a person.
Yes.
Like, I actually loved her more after that.
Because they didn't let us. Because they
Didn't let us
see
see.
that.
Like, she was so poised. She was just always so elegant and beautiful and poised. But that also taught me a lot. Like, I looked at her and was like, that's how I want to be. Like,
You
I
don't
want
look
to
like
be
what you're going through.
exactly.
Yes.
And I just knew I want to be elegant. I want to be beautiful and poised. And I remember I was performing here in LA doing these concerts or whatever.
Yeah.
And the producer of the concert was like, you remind me of Whitney. Like the way that you pull, like when you're singing, like just at a mic, you know, Whitney can dance. I can dance, but Whitney didn't
Whitney
have
said, I ain't got to do all that.
no rhythm. But when she was just doing a ballad, he was like, your gestures and your like the way that you do it, he's like, it just reminds me of her. And I was like, oh,
Thank you.
right. But I watched her and I just like was enamored by how sophisticated she was.
Yes.
And then when I got older and I saw that, I was there watching that Barbara Walters interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, Auntie Whitney. Like, ooh. But I loved her more because I'm like, she was so, even with the things that she struggled with, she did not lack in confidence.
No.
At all.
No.
Like, she knew who she was.
Mm-hmm.
She knew what her struggles were.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't afraid to say what they were.
Yeah.
You know, she loved her man.
Yes.
Like no other.
To me, she was just a whole human being that just wasn't, that was truly, and when it comes to personal life, was a little ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if she was here today and allowed to live and be in her truth and all, oh my gosh. Yeah. But what that does is encourages others. Right. And so it stands for,
And child, I remember the day she passed, you would have thought I was related to her.
Yeah.
Like I was.
Your friends had to come to your house too, because they had to come to mine. They had to come make sure I was good. They said, they all knocked at the door and said, Joy. I said,
She go.
She go.
She go.
She go. They all had to get a blanket for me and everything. I did. I had them on.
Girl, I was watching that the TV. It came on, and I just immediately just started bawling. And I called my mom, because my mom loves Whitney too. And I called my mom. My mom said hello. I said, Mom. She said, I know, baby. And we just bawled. I mean, I was devastated.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yes.
So, yes, Whitney for sure. Meryl Streep.
Yes.
That's
I know
my
if my
favorite.
table was longer, she definitely did. I was like, we go longer table. I'm about to pull up some chairs.
Right. I love me some Merle. Merle. Love me some Merle.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
My nigga.
Yes.
I love Kendrick. I love K. Dot.
Yes.
Okay. I just love
can I
him.
just ask, what is your one, I mean, because there's so many things, but what's your one thing you really love about him?
About him?
Yeah.
Well, I just love that he's so black and like he loves us. Like, you know, like he loves our people. I love the things like what his music stands for. Like his last album, Mr. Morale, like just how he talks about his journey through, you know, therapy and trauma and stuff like that. And I'm just like, fun music is cool. Like fun music is cool for what it's for.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the arts are, God gave us the ability to create like him so that we could transform ourselves, people, and the world. Like God is a creator, and he doesn't just create, he transforms.
He does.
So he gave us, that's the one thing he gave us that's like him.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
We don't love like him.
Yeah.
We don't forgive like him. We don't have wisdom like him.
Yes.
But we can create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you create, I believe there's a responsibility that you have when you're creating. And I love Kendrick because I believe he takes that seriously, you know? And we need voices for our people in a whole bunch of different areas.
Yeah.
Not just in politics, not just in education, not just behind a pulpit, but also in hip hop music, in TV and film. Like, and we need those voices to sound different.
Yes.
You know, completely different. They don't all need to sound the same.
No.
You know? Yeah, he's just dope.
He
like
really
he's
is.
he's
Oh no,
dope. He's one of my
I
favorites.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of my
so
favorites.
good.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
So Whitney, Meryl, Kendrick,
yeah.
Michelle Obama.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay.
I love Michelle. I think I'm inspired by who she is. Now, the only thing I don't agree with Michelle, and this is why I would invite her to dinner.
This is why you would, or you
I would, because I would want to ask her.
Yeah, you want to ask her
it.
about this. Okay.
The only thing I don't agree with that she has said to the world is when they go low, we go high. I don't agree. I feel we should go lower.
Oh, you
like,
ready?
when they go low, we go low. Like limbo. Low.
You
because you not finna just go low on me all the time, and then I always choose the high road. So I gotta talk to Michelle about this. Like,
I'm with you on that, but I'm about to tell you, I think Michelle might tell us off camera
that she goes
that
low.
she, I had a moment. She said, you know what? Now I couldn't say.
She's like, I'll break it down.
Yes,
to the flow.
and I don't want a little low. But to the people that about, we gonna go high. Yes, she gonna come like, she don't walk.
Right, exactly.
She'll say that. I'll be like, I knew it.
So that's, I'm like, Michelle, seriously, are we always going high? Because I don't really want to go high.
Well,
sometimes you need to go low.
Yes.
You got to pop out and show niggas. Anyway.
Yes.
So,
that's my new mantra too.
That's my new mantra.
I love it.
I just posted something the other day that said, this summer, things to do this summer, pop out, show niggas.
Yes. Pop out.
So, okay, so I would have her. Whitney, Meryl, Kendrick,
Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
2 more.
Damn. Who else? See, why does it get
I
hard
know
after
it does
4?
get hard after a while. After 4, you like.
It gets hard after 4. I would do. You know what? Not to steal yours, but I would probably do Kiki too.
Yeah.
Because I really like her. She's dope.
And you know what?
Yeah.
We about to laugh. Like, that's the thing. We love to laugh. We love, and
right. Yeah.
We're gonna need it. With a hot table.
Speaking of laughing, damn. Dave Chappelle.
Oh.
I would have Dave Chappelle on my table.
Well, if we could have a comedian, you have Dave Chappelle, then okay, I might pull over a table. I'm gonna have Cat Williams.
Love me some Cat too.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
Dang, I'm like, I wish my table was.
I know. That's why I'm like, can you pull up chairs?
I keep thinking of people. Oh God. So as we're talking about joy, I think two things that they could be married is joy and confidence.
Ooh.
And I don't think people put those two things together a lot.
No.
But I think when you have a lack of joy, it's hard to be a truly confident person and lack joy at the same time. You can appear confident. Like there's a way to have false confidence and appear. It's really your ego. It's not like genuine confidence.
For sure.
You know? But I think joy brings about confidence. And I talked earlier about just how when I first met you, I felt that joy, I felt that confidence, but now seeing how you've matured and grown as a woman, how you've owned your journey from your career to your sexuality to all of it, I just feel like you have like an essence of confidence that just kind of, and listen, we all have our internal struggles and ways that we doubt each other or whatever, but I just want you to talk to me about like how you stay confident. I know we have had private conversations about some of the things you endured when working on certain sets and people that you had to navigate, especially being a Black woman in those arenas and in those environments. Mm-hmm. So I would love for you to just talk to me about how you stay joyful, how you keep your confidence as a Black woman, in this industry and owning who you are and pursuing what it is that you feel God has called you to do.
Oh my gosh. Well, first I have to be honest and, like we've spoke about her already, but it started with my mother. Yeah. My mother growing up, my mother is growing up in the South. I'm from South Carolina.
Right.
And in the South, my mother can pass as a white woman, but she's a Black woman.
Okay.
And so her dream was, I have a brother and then I have a sister that my mom raised, but she's like my first cousin, but they're still lighter than me. And she just one day, her thing was, I just want a chocolate baby. And so she prayed and then I'm here. I'm her chocolate baby.
Love it.
And so when I started growing up, I was teased a lot that wasn't my mother because
your complexion.
Complexion. So I dealt with a lot. What is it? Colorism and girls didn't like me, or girls teased me, or I thought I was better, or
because your mama likes skin.
Yeah, your mama likes skin, or you this and that, and she a white woman. And I was like, sometimes I would be like, I dare you to go say that to my mother. I dare you go call her a white woman and see what happened.
Right.
Because that's just not what it is. Yeah. I learned very early that we come in so many shades.
The amazing thing about it.
Oh, that we are so beautiful. But what she did was when I would come home and I would from being teased and I would just cry, she said, Joy, you've got to stop letting people steal your joy. She said, that's yours and you're my baby. I am your mother. So it was always like a reminder of, no, I'm your mother and you are beautiful. Yeah. And God created you to be this color and, and would affirm me. Yeah. So I was always having that. Yeah. So I would always have this positive thing in my, just a record player. My mama said I am. My mama said I'm this. Mm-hmm. And so as I dealt with bullies, and all of that stuff, but I just would keep going. One of the most traumatic stories that I had was I was being bullied in elementary school by this little girl. And, and I was so terrified of her. And I don't know. And it's interesting because I've seen her now in my adult life.
Why? I would put
I had to pray. As you said, the Michelle Obama thing, because I done felt like push her. Yeah, I had to go high. Because I was like, I wanted to go and push her. And I was like, no. I'm a new woman. However, I remember her, just tormenting me. And my mom, and one day they asked me, they said, well, Joy, what would you do if she hit you? And I said, I will fall to my knees and I will ball up into a little ball and I would pray she don't hit me no more. And when I said that, I just remember it hitting my mom. And she said, oh no.
Right.
I don't know where you got this, but we've got work to do.
Right.
And so.
We gonna slap the shit
Yeah,
out of
okay. Baby, we gonna load them up.
We gonna go.
Yeah, we gonna go up. And so after that, it was just this thing where she was like, we've got work to do. And she instilled me that, you know, around, you know, building my confidence. And then I remember I started hanging out with one of my cousins, who was like my favorite cousin in the whole wide world, I'm so excited. She's moving here.
Oh, I love it.
And I've been waiting. It's like, you know, waiting all your life to be close.
Yeah.
And at this time, at this season, I was like, oh, you can't tell me that God don't love me. You know, I'm just like have that close family tribe. But yes, just they constantly pouring into me.
Yeah.
And teaching me that it's okay to accept when you're having the dark moments.
Yeah.
So that helps confidence as well.
It does.
It builds confidence because I got like, you know, we can relate it to like, you know, I think in life we often find ourselves going through many transformations, becoming new butterflies. Mm-hmm. And so when you go into these cocoons, you're ugly.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's an ugly process.
And all of the things are being removed and everything. But you know, when you come out, you got, I don't know what the color are, but I bet she's beautiful. And then you start seeing your new wings. And I don't know, I have it on me. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. But keep it moving, and then you learn to be intentional with the moves that you're doing.
That you make.
You know what I mean? Then you keep it moving, then you start saying thank you. I don't know how, but thank you. Like, yes, and even sometimes when I'm saying thank you, sometimes I have to stop off and say, but you know, I got to let it out right now. Right. And so I'll have a good cry. Yeah. A good cry builds my confidence. It sure does. Because I can't hold it in, and I love that I'm able to be in touch with my vulnerability. Yeah. I remember, you know, I dated someone that at first I would question, like, how do I bring value to them, right? Because they had, on paper, they were fabulous. They were way more fabulous than me. They got the money, they got the things, and all of that. And I was like, yeah, okay, but what do I? And I realized that what my value was my heart, my kindness, you know, and who I am, and my self-care, my self-love. Yeah. Like when I'm in the midst of a storm, I know how to find my way back home.
To myself. Yeah.
And through that is the power of prayer, the calling a girlfriend or my friends and be like, today and being okay with telling the truth, like, I don't have it together today.
And, you know, I think that speaks to the power of a mother's love.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a mom that loves you, that sees you, that instills in you faith in God for one, but also faith in yourself and beauty. Yeah. You know, my mom was similar. Like, she definitely was a mom that always told me I was beautiful. Yes. You know, that always tried to encourage you know, us to know, you know, who we are. And of course, when you're young, if you have a father wound or whatever, there's stuff that you have to deal with. But I think it really does speak to having a mother that sees you and encourages you. It helps you be able to come home to yourself. You know? It
helps me, as I say, it's another tool. It's like I know where to go, and sometimes it's off balance, and you know, we have our little pitfalls, and sometimes they last longer than others, but I just know how to always just find my way back. As I say, right now there's this song that has been like my mantra. It's by Ty Tribbett. Ooh, One Night Only.
Oh, I don't know if I heard that one.
You know, we may do it for a night, but only one night only. So if you cry, just make sure it's only one night only. And if you like sad, make sure. But what I take from that is, some days it's like that, and I'm just gonna take a night to just cry and let joy. But joy does come in the morning, and so far. Joy's still been showing up in the morning time. She showed us like a get here, and I said, okay, I'll be back again. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, I did. I remember, we could be honest, I had not a fun day yesterday. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just had come off of something, and I just was like, I went and ran, and I did all the things. I used my tools, and and I was feeling better, but I just couldn't shake it. Yeah. Like, truly, and I said, well,
let me just give myself
let me just give myself a day and a little grace. and I'm gonna get a good sleep.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I was coming in to talk about today, and I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I woke up today and I said, and there she is. Good morning.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey. So I went in there and I took, that's why you talking about me, but I put on lotion for you.
You look good. Okay, you're glistening.
Thanks,
Nothing
man.
wrong with it. Okay, so let's talk about your podcast real quick before we
yes,
end.
yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
Like, I'm excited for your podcast. Tell us about our friend Joy.
So, we went on a strike. We had a strike.
Mm-hmm.
And during the strike, we're just like, and I was hit with a double strike because from being with Jimmy Kimmel, the writers were out.
Right, yeah.
And then the actors were out. So it was
Right.
just, and it was like, what are you, okay. Just like I did in COVID, it was a nonprofit. I'm like, okay, here we are again. What am I going to do in this season? What are you asking for?
Yeah.
Just like here, I was invited to another friend's podcast. And, I had such a great time. Mm-hmm. And anytime someone asks me questions about kids, I light up.
Right.
Because and they were just like, well, what is it that you do, Joy? Because I've seen you. And she was, my friend was like, I don't really like the kids like that. But
I'm not a kid.
yeah, but they just like,
yeah.
woof.
I ain't gonna lie. I love my kids
Yeah.
very much.
Yes.
Like, I fool with my kids.
Yes.
And it's about my nieces and nephews. I
Yeah.
love all of those kids. But outside of my family kids, it's about 4 other kids
That you really like.
that I actually fool with.
I
So
understand.
you really have a gift.
Yes.
And you have a heart.
Yeah.
I'm always stick up for children.
Yes.
Love Danny love the kids, but Joy loves the kids.
I
okay?
receive it. I receive it. I receive it.
love
I do. And so when this strike happened, and I was figuring out, we're doing things and opportunities. I received a phone call from my mother who had met me before COVID actually.
Okay.
And she would always hit me up randomly and be like, Joy, are you available? You around? And I'd be like, no, I'm not around, Miss Laura. Like, not around.
Yeah.
This time I had time. And it was a sign where I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. So I did that, and I started doing these enrichments, And so 3 days a week, I did enrichments for ages 2 through 5. My 2-year-olds turned 3 while they were in class with me. And they were fantastic. I mean, super smart. I'll never forget, I had this one little boy. He told me the first day meeting him, I said, oh, how are you? You 3. He said, no, Miss Joy, I'm 2. 2 comes after 3. I'm still 2. I'm not a big boy yet. I said, but you really are. And I'm looking at him like, well, for you to articulate all what you just said.
Right. He's like, I'm 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yes. I'm like, all right, I got you. But what that showed me that I was going to be in, with a bunch of like amazing kids.
Yeah.
And so when I did the podcast, the producer asked, have you ever thought about doing one? And I said, actually I have, but didn't know what, how this would come about.
Right.
But from doing the enrichments, the kids always look to me as, because they have their nannies. They have their nannies, they have their teachers, they have their mothers, their fathers, and it's like, who am I? And I said, I'm your friend.
I love
And I'm, because everyone deserves a friend named Joy. Why
and they're
not?
going to open up to their friends.
And they're going to open up to their friend. And so whenever I work with them and whenever there's a problem, I would always get them to get down on their level. We always go to a couch. And I remember me growing up, a lot of my conversations like we are right now, they would take place on the couch. The couch was a safety place.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? I got it. So you can come and you can ask your friend Joy anything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if a question is too big or a problem,
Right.
You just come and Miss Joy is going to be able to solve. We're going to figure this out. And if I don't know, I'm going to find out somebody and I'm going to come back and report to you.
Right.
And so I just started running with it, and they would ask, how kids, they ask so many things and the most random things and questions that you're like, that actually is a really good question.
And sometimes their parents don't have time to answer it.
And they don't have time.
They don't have time, they don't have the patience, whatever it might be. Yeah.
And so I said, well, I have the time and the patience, and this is part of my calling. And so I am going to start this. Someone believed in the dream, and they helped me, come together with it. Yeah. And it started as an idea, and now it is here.
Yeah.
Our friend Joy, and I'm just so
happy for you.
Happy about it. And it's, we've discussed that there's things coming, new levels of it, and I'm just excited because I feel I'm truly at home and walking into my purpose.
How many episodes are you doing?
I've already shot
Yeah.
12 episodes.
Oh, great. Okay.
But now we're adding new elements to these episodes.
Yeah.
And which I'm excited about the viewers and the kids to see.
Right.
So yeah, we're going in and bringing those in. But yeah, just me and these questions and 12.
So if you guys have small children between the ages of what would you say?
You can bring, I would say 3 to 11.
Okay.
3 to 11, because and also parents, because parents, you sit with your child,
and we have questions about our children.
Yes, y'all have questions about your children.
How do I do this?
And how do I do this? And how do I had a parent tell me the other day, I learned something, and I said, well, what did you learn? I didn't even know where a rainbow came from. I just knew when I looked out, they appeared, and I said, boom, Miss Joy got that answer for you.
Now, see, that is hilarious.
Yes.
So it's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
From ages 3 to 83.
Yes.
93.
Yes.
But seriously, if you have small children, I know there's a lot of these YouTube people that have Miss Rachel. And
Miss Rachel is one.
But there's not a lot of black people.
They're not
doing these kind of shows. So support
yes.
our friend Joy. If you have young kids, the episodes. The one I watched the other day was like 17 minutes.
Yes,
so
and that's the longest. They're all less than 20 minutes. A new episode drops every Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes, it's on YouTube where you can actually see me. But if you are, I know it's the summertime and families are traveling and taking road trips. It is available on Apple and Spotify, anywhere that there is podcast. So, yes.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for joining me.
Real deep.
I love you real deep.